Doc Rampaggio here with another DKTV video. As you can see, I'm in this swanky new DK offices, new shooting place. Hopefully it's going to be a lot better than the cramped spaces of yore. Today I'm talking about Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Figured it's been a few months, let's take a look back, see what's different, how we feel about things now as opposed to then, and let's just take a look back at Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Alright, so if you watched my video about The Force Awakens before, either the spoiler one or the non-spoiler one, you will know that I loved The Force Awakens the first time I saw it. I loved it the first couple times I saw it, and I've probably watched it 15, 20 times on Blu-ray already, and I still love it. I see a lot of people online spewing hate about this movie, like it's just a rehash of Episode 4, blah, 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 blah. I don't see it. I mean, I see it, but I don't agree. I think it definitely had a lot in common with Episode 4, but I also think it stands on its own, and I think it's a nice way to start the new trilogy. Alright, so when I first saw the movie, there was a lot of cool things. I liked Kylo Ren until the part with Han Solo, and, you know, I liked Poe and all this, but on multiple viewings, my thoughts have changed a little bit. Now, knowing that Kylo Ren is actually the biggest douchebag in the universe, his intimidation and his coolness in the early scenes no longer do it for me. All I can think about is this son of a bitch that killed his father. Still don't like Kylo Ren. Definitely was a cool villain. I mean, he's probably going to be cool in Episode 8 and 9, but killing Han Solo just kind of makes you irrelevant to me as a character, so Kylo Ren, you know. Poe is quickly becoming one of my favorite characters in the whole saga. Every time I watch the movie, I really, really like Poe a lot more. He's basically our new Han Solo. I think he's very cool. His attitude is good. And, you know, I can't wait to see more Poe. Rey, still loving Rey. I think she's a great character. I think you can, having seen the movie so much, you start seeing more glimpses of what Rey will become as you watch it. And I think that's very cool. Something that stays with me every time I watch this movie is just how great it is to see Han and Chewie back. And, you know, the first time you see it, you're, like, really loving it, and then the whole Han thing happens, and you're just crushed. But on repeated viewings, we got so much great Han and Chewie in this movie that it's almost okay that Han died, because there's so much good stuff. All the back and forth between him and Chewie is amazing. The parts where he's, like, shooting guys without looking. Just the classic Han-ness of Han is just great, and it's just awesome. I loved seeing Han and Chewie together again, and I still love it, even though every scene is super bittersweet because you know it's coming. The Stormtrooper designs I have catered to more than I initially had. I still prefer classic Stormtroopers, but I do like the looks of these guys more now than I did initially, and I think it's just getting used to them a little bit, you know? New things take a while, but on repeated viewings, I think these Stormtroopers are badass. I think they're a lot more intimidating than any of the old Stormtroopers were, but, you know, things have matured a little bit in the Star Wars world since Jedi, but, you know, there was a lot of bumbling. I think there was a little bit less bumbling in this, but Maz has stood out to become a really great character to me. I really hope we see more of her. She's almost Yoda-ish in a way, and I would love to see some scenes with her and Luke in Episode 8. But the more I watch this movie, the more I want to know about Maz. I definitely want to know where she got the lightsaber from, and I really hope we find that out, because that is a pretty big question. All the ship designs I'm still loving. Basically, however many months later, what is it, 6, 7 months later, I'm still loving this movie just as much as I loved it the first time I saw it. And I feel like that is good because, you know, with something as big as Star Wars, the first time you see it, you're all hyped up on all this energy. I mean, I walked out of the theater loving Episode 1. Yeah, I still like Episode 1, but my love for it has diminished definitely more than the first time I saw it, where I walked out of the theater being like, yeah, new Star Wars. You know, on repeated viewings, you start seeing some of the cracks. But yeah, Episode 7, after a few months, still loving it just as much. I can't wait for Rogue One. I can't wait for Episode 8. I can't wait for any other movies they're doing except basically the young Han Solo movie. I just don't want to see anyone else playing Han. I'm sure it'll be great. I'm sure it'll be packed to the gills with cool characters and cool settings. And I'm definitely going to watch it. I'll buy the Blu-ray or whatever, but I'm just not excited about that one. And my final word about Star Wars for now is Disney needs to get on an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. Ewan wants to do it. Everyone wants to see it. I think Trainspotting 2 is coming out next year. It's filming now. So after that's done, Disney needs to lock Ewan down and get this Obi-Wan movie bumping, because that needs to happen stat. Anyway, I'm Doc Rampaggio. This is DKTV. We will catch you next time. Peace! I talked about it in the initial premiere weekend. Yeah, that's what it is. The premiere weekend.